The Death of Socrates, Jacques-Louis David. Some people leave behind books, some leave behind monuments, some leave behind empires, but only a few leave behind a way of thinking. More than 2000 years have passed since Socrates drank a cup of poison in Athens. His body disappeared long ago, his city changed, empires rose and fell, languages evolved, civilizations transformed, yet somehow his questions are still alive. Perhaps that is because ideas are different from stone. You can destroy a temple, you can burn a library, but once an idea begins living inside another human being, it becomes almost impossible to erase. That is why Socrates still speaks to us, not because he gave humanity the all answer what we need, but because he taught us how to ask better questions. He believed that an unexamined life was not worth living, and maybe that is why his voice still echoes through philosophy, science, politics, education, and even art. When David painted The Death of Socrates in 1787, he was not simply illustrating an event from ancient Greece. Definitely, he was painting the triumph of conviction over fear. Now, let us slow down and step into the painting. The first thing we notice is not death, right? It's very complicated painting, but this is not the death, it is certainty. Socrates sits upright here. His body is calm. His fingers point towards the heavens as if his final lesson has not yet ended. Even in the final moments before drinking hemlock, he continues teaching. Around him, everybody and every moment is changing. For example, his students are overwhelmed by grief. Some hide their faces like this. They can't hold the situation at all. They hide their faces with their hands, and others reach toward him in desperation. Their bodies collapse beneath the weight of emotion, and Socrates alone remains composed. David creates a powerful contrast. Emotion surrounds reason, fear surrounds courage, mortality surrounds an idea that refuses to die. Look closely at the cup of poison here. It is surprisingly small, almost insignificant. David understood something extraordinary here, and that poison was never the true subject of the painting, right? The real subject is choice. He is still teaching. Socrates could have escaped. His friends arranged it. Instead, he chose to remain faithful to the very laws and principles he had spent his life defending. That decision transformed an execution into one of history's greatest moral statements. Light plays an equally important role, and it gently illuminates Socrates while the surrounding figures dissolve into shadow. The painting almost suggests that while the body is about to disappear, the idea is becoming brighter. Every gesture in this composition has meaning. Every hand, let's look at them. It's unbelievable. Teaching hand. And this hand, it's really attracts me. Like the last goodbye. And every expression. Every fold of fabric. Nothing is accidental. And David, one of the great masters of neoclassicism. He admired the balance, discipline, and moral clarity of the ancient world, but here he does something remarkable. He paints philosophy as if it were heroism, not on a battlefield, but inside a prison cell. For me, this painting has never been about death, it has always been about inheritance. What do we leave behind? Our positions, our possessions, our achievements, or the ideas that continue living in other people long after we're gone. Perhaps that is why the death of Socrates continues to move audience after more than 2 centuries. Because every generation eventually faces the same question: what is worth standing for, and what truth will we refuse to abandon? Great paintings rarely preserve a single moment, they preserve a conversation here. And more than 2000 years later, Socrates is still asking us questions. Thank you.